ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदताम् ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 16, verse number 49. Continuation of the prayers by the Nagpatnis, the wives of Kaliya snake. And in the previous verses they are explaining about personality of Krishna as the creator of the three worlds. He glances and activates the samskaras, or rather the vasanas, the swabhavas of the living beings. He also makes the Prakriti into transform into the different tattvas, and in all that he remains as Niriheya or Nischesta, Niskriya. And then in the sloka of the Guna Gundrashta Avyakrit Gun Pradipaya. We read how the word Guna was commented upon as qualities of a devotee, and he is controlled by the qualities of his devotees. And that's what makes him as Swam Bhagavan. So now he says, Tvam hi asya janma sthiti sanyaman vibho gunairaniho krita kala shakti dhrik tattat svabhavan pratibodhayan satah. No, this we did. We are on sloka number 15. Tassaiva tayamustanava strilokyam shanta shanta uta mudhayonayah shanta priyaste hi adhuna vitum satam sthatuscha dharma paripshaye hata. So he says that tassaiva tayamu tanava. So these are all your energies. Tanu here means energies. And they manifest in three ways as Shanta, Shanta and Mudhyoni. So as peaceful, as not peaceful, and as confused. So Sattva, Rajas, Tamas basically. Sattva is peaceful, Rajas is not peaceful, and Mudhyoni is confusion. So these are three types of living beings, or three types of bodies. But he says that at present Santaha Priyaste hi adhuna. Now it is only the Shanta, or those who are in Sattva, they are dear to you. Why is that? Because Avitum Satam, because you have come here to protect the saintly people, and therefore you are not going to favor those who are Ashanta or who are Mudhas. So Sthatus Chate Dharma Paripsayet. You want to establish Dharma. So therefore now only the Shanta are your Priya, not the others. So kena abhiprayanaiva studave iti chet tatrahu. So with what intention are you praising me? So if this is asked, then they speak this. Tasyaiva purvokta lakshanasya tava vishva hetutvad visvarupasya amuhu shantadyastanava shantadisu shantadi swabhavan tvameva pratibodhayasi chet tatra ghora svabhavoyam kaliya swasvabhavam krauryam katham tyaktum shaknoti iti bhava. So the intention is as follows, that it is you who are the cause of this Vishwa, this universe, and you are Vishwarupa. So all these various swabhavas which people have, which are Shanta, Shanta and Mudha, so they also are yours. You are the one who illuminate them, activate them, inspire them. So therefore this Kaliya, who has this ghor swabhav or terrible nature, that is Krauriyam, means cruel. So how he is going to give it up? Because this is also you who have initiated it, or you who have inspired it. So you are the instigator of this swabhava also. So everybody has got their different swabhavas. So how can they change? So this is the best policy. When you don't want to change, then put the blame on somebody else. Then you are free. Right? So no need to change. And they say that not a leaf moves without the will of God, right? So where is the free will? If the leaf is also not moving, how can I move? I am more than leaf, at least. So where is the chance? Where is the possibility? And where is the need to do any effort? So that's what they are saying. It says, Katham tyaktum shaknoti iti bhava. So how is it possible that Kaliya can give up his cruel nature? So although earlier they said that you have punished him rightly, right? Says that this is very good that you have punished him, he deserves this. Now they are turning 180 degree. According to this, it was not right to punish him. Because if he has this nature which is given by God, then he is acting according to his nature. If you ask someone that stand here with gun and shoot people, and he does this, then he is not responsible. He is doing because he is under you and you ask him to do it. So you gave him this cruel nature. So what do you expect from him? That he is going to welcome you nicely and give you some plate of sweets to eat? You are the one who have given him this poison. So he is giving you the poison back, so that you understand what type of nature you have given to him. So he is not responsible. But he says, although you do this, but at different time you like different things. So sometimes you like sattva, sometimes you like rajas, sometimes you like tamas. So when you like tamas, then dissolution happens. When you like rajas, creation happens. When you like sattva, maintenance happens. So it seems right now you only want sattva. So therefore they said that Shantaha priyaste adhuna. But at present it is only Shanta who are your priya. Tathapi tav adhuna Shantaha priyaha. So at present only those who are in sattva guna, who are in peaceful, they are dear to you. So why is that? What is the reason for that? He says, satam dharma paripshaya sthatuscha. So satam dharma palanichaya ihatah pravartamanasya atastanavitum sthatum. So your wish is that the sattvic people or saintly people, they should protect dharma. So therefore they have to be protected by you. So atastanavitum, so you act to protect them. And sthatu sthitasya, those who are situated. So this is your wish, and thus you are punishing this Kaliya. So that means Kaliya should be punished. So then they say aparadha sakrid bhartra sodhavya swaprajakrita kshantum marhasi shantatman mudhasya tvam ajanata. So he says that this offense which our husband has done to you, this should be forgiven once. Why? Because he is also your creation. So one time you should forget, Shantum Arhasi, Shantatman, because you are a peaceful person and he is a mudha, he is foolish. So he should be given one chance. If he does not listen your warning once, then you can kill him. So one chance he deserves. tvam ajanata, because he did not know you. He did not understand that you are Bhagavan, you are manifest here to perform your human Leela. He is thinking you are just some another boy. So he is acting according to his nature. He should have considered that this boy is actually the one who has given me this nature. I should not apply this on him. It's only for others. Right? If you are in the army, you are trained to shoot. That doesn't mean you shoot the officers. You are trained to shoot the enemies, not your own people. So, atah shanta loka vipriya karitva lakshno asya aparadho abhudeva sacha sakrit sodhavya. So therefore he says that he has certainly committed an offense in the form of his behavior, which is disliked by those who are peaceful people. So shanta loka vipriyakaritva lakshana. So vipriyakari means the action which is not desirable, not liked by shanta people. And you have appeared now here to maintain peace and dharma in the society. So therefore he has committed an offense, but one time he should be forgiven. Adhuna dandayitva shikshitopi ayam tvadiya shantajaneshu yadi punarapi apradhyati tada na sodhavya iti bhava. So now you have punished him and you have given him a lesson. So sometimes lesson is given just by words, sometimes it is given with the rod. So he has got the lesson. So now if he again after this does some harm to your peaceful people, to your devotees, then he should not be forgiven. That is the meaning. When they say that should be forgiven once, means second time no forgiven. Kshantum arhasi iti artha paunaruktya mati vayagriya vyanjakam. So here to say kshantum arhasi again, so he says this is spoken because they are little agitated in their mind. Kshantumiti aparadhamiti shesha. So kshantum arhasi, what is that kshantum arhasi? Aparadha, which is mentioned in the first. Only they are not saying, but it has to be applied here also. Shantatmaniti kshantritva hetu. Why should Krishna forgive? Because he is Shantatman. He is very peaceful in his mind. Therefore, he can forgive. Mudhasya janata iti kshantavyatva hetu. And why should he be forgiven? Because he is foolish, he is ignorant, and he did not know you. So now you can forgive him.
Punarukti is that once they are speaking Sodavya and then they are speaking Kshantumarasi?
Yeah. Anugrihishva Bhagavan pranans त्यजति pannagah strinam na sadhu sochyanam pati pranah pradiyatam. So he is saying that, oh Bhagavan, please be gracious. He says this snake is about to give up his life. He is breathing heavily having difficulty in breathing, is having heart palpitations, is very weak, is feeling dizzy, cannot even stand up, so he needs to be forgiven and blessed. Why is that? He says that we are his wives. If he dies, we will become widow. And sadhu sochyanam. So we are object of mercy of sadhu people, devotees, nice people. So please protect or spare the life of our husband. So now there, although it was already clear from the previous sloka, but in case it's not clear, they make it explicit. It says pati prana pradiyatam, that spare the life of our husband. We have many wives and one husband. If he dies, all of us will become widow. Then either we continue living or we have to perform sati. So they were not in the mood of doing sati because it is banned now. Right? There is a law against it. It's not allowed in Indian constitution. So therefore, don't make us widow. So nanu chikitsa asya sadhu eva krita rogo gata eva किंतु रोग शेष दूरीकरणार्थम सप्त अष्टा पार्ष्ण प्रहारा अवशिष्यन्ते तेषु सम्मतिर दीयताम इति अतः. So when Krishna heard this, that you please forgive him once, so he says, okay, I forgive him. His disease is almost gone. I have cured him. I have given him an injection. So his disease is gone, but little bit is remaining still. And therefore I need to kick him 7 or 8 times more. So then he will be completely cured. So they thought, my God, if he kicks him 7, 8 more times, he will be dead. That's the reason they are saying, spare the life. So that's what they say, that's chikitsasa sadhu eva krita. He says, I have nicely treated him. I checked his pulse. I know this pitta is too much high. So I am balancing it. Because pitta high, then you kick him. And then he gets tired. He goes into tamas. Right? Pitta goes down, tamas comes up. So he's going. He says, but he says, rogo gata eva, his disease is almost gone. But roga shesha durikarna, little bit is remaining, like 5%. So for that he needs about 7 or 8 more kicks. So just allow me to do that. That's what Krishna is saying. He says, Tesu sammatim diyatam. Allow me so that I kick him 7 times. So then they spoke this verse, that if you kick him, forget about 7, if you kick him 2, 3 more times, he is Govindaya Namo Nama. He will be dead. Because he was already breathing heavily. Already his eyes were popping out and he was vomiting blood. So how he will survive more kicks? So therefore they say, Anugrahnid Swa, that please be gracious. Sadosha Shesho Anugraha Amrit Padane Neva Nasniya. He says the remaining disease, you should treat it not by this kind of treatment, but by giving him the nectar of your grace, not by punishing. Punishing is one type of treatment, and blessing is another type of trait. Anugraha and Nigraha. So Nigraha you have done, now you do Anugraha. So most of his problem is solved by Nigraha, by chastisement. Now little bit is remaining, so just give your gracious hand on his head. Natu danda tivra asada payanin. So he says there are two types of medicines. Some medicines are very bitter and some are sweet. Right? So some are like, what is that? Mahasudarshan Churna. So it's very bitter. So you take Mahasudarshan Churna, you would feel like vomiting. But it's very good if you have some fever or this or that. It's very good. It's bitter. But there are some other nice medicines also, which can also do the same job. So he says that now don't give him Mahasudarshan. That's over. So now give him some like Chavanpras or something. So he can gain some strength and develop immunity. So yato aso samprati pranos tyajati. Why we are saying is that he cannot take this bitter medicine anymore. His capacity to take bitter medicine is over. So now you have to give little sweet taste. Nanu tyajatu pranan kimanena vigitena sarpa sharirena. So then Krishna says, what is the problem if he dies? Anyway, he has got this despicable form of a snake. What is so great about snaky body? Snake is good in a lake, but otherwise on the ground everybody tries to beat them, right? You see a snake, everybody goes behind them. So he says, what is this? Vigitena sarp sharirena. Atah param divya deho mad bhakteva bhavishyati. If he dies, then I will give him a transcendental spiritual body. And he will go to Vaikuntha and live with me. Mad bhakta, he will be my devotee. So why are you asking that he should remain here in this snake body? So they are saying, okay, he will get a spiritual body, he will go to Vaikuntha or wherever. But what will happen to us? We will be in trouble. Navare patyu kamaya pati priyo bhavati pitu atmane kamaya. Right? The husband is dear not for the sake of husband, but for your own sake. So they don't want that he gets a spiritual body. They want that he remains in this despicable, snaky body. So that they are happy. So then he's saying that we are women. They are actually telling a practical problem. In human society, women have problem because men trouble them. That's what they are saying. It has been there all the time. He said we are women, Strinam, and on top of that we are beautiful women. If you are not beautiful, it will be fine. But we are beautiful, and men like beautiful women. So we will have difficulty. So therefore they are saying Strinam iti Sundrinam asmakam vedhavya sati kasyadanya papishtha sarpo balat kamayita bhavishyati. So we are women, we are beautiful women. When we become widow, then some another snake who sees us, then he will lust after us and he will trouble us. And we don't want another snake. We are devoted to our husband, we are chaste wife, we don't want another husband. I mean, generally, husband dies or you take divorce, you find another husband, what is the problem? So they don't want that. So he says, Kaschitanya papishta, some another sinful snake who is very powerful, then he will lust after us. Kamita bhavishyati. Ataha sochyanam asmakam ayameva samprati utpanna vaishnavatakatvat. So therefore we are pitiable ladies, and you better keep him alive. And on top of that, now, although he is snake, but he has become a Vaishnava. So all this time we are hoping that he would become a Vaishnava. Now when he becomes a Vaishnava, he dies. So we are very unfortunate. When he was alive, he was not a devotee. When he becomes a devotee, he dies. So at least give us some opportunity to be with a Vaishnava husband, so that we can freely do service to him. Together we can do service to you, we can do kirtan, puja. All this time he never participated because of his pride, his ahankara. So, konyo asti sadrisho maya, who is there, God, I am the powerful one. So now he has become Vaishnava. So that is good. Pranaha snehaspadi bhavan pranatulya. So prana means the object which is most dear. So that should be given. Videhi te kinkarinam anushtheyam tavajyaya yachshadhya anutishtan vai muchyate sarvato bhayat. So now they are saying that you please also instruct us what kind of spiritual practice we should do. We are your maid servants. So videhi te kinkarinam. We are your kinkari, your maid servants. So anushtayam means what kind of anushthan practice we should follow. By your order we should do that, so that together we live like a Vaishnava family. Because tavajya yat shraddhya anutishtan vai muchyate sarvato bhayat. Those people who follow your instructions, follow spiritual practice as given by you, then they become free from all fear. So instruct us in Bhāgavad dharma. Ye vai Bhāgavata prokta. Upaya hi vimuktaye. So punsamanjasa vidhitan Bhāgavatam. So that Bhāgavad dharma which is instructed by you, upaya hi atma labdhaye, for attainment of Atma Paramatma. So that you please instruct us, so we can follow that. So bhavatu vayam yusmabhyam patir dattayeva kintu yanmaya adishyate tat kartavyamiti. So Krishna says, okay, let it be so. I will fulfill your wish. So I spare your husband, I will not kill him. But now whatever I instruct, you should follow that. So then they say, Tatra sasambhram avashyam evitya. So then in great ecstasy they are saying, sure, definitely we will follow whatever you instruct us. That is our great fortune. Tat chetah sthanad anyatra sigram yataiti agre vyakti bhavishyati. So that instruction will come later on, where he says that he should leave this place and go elsewhere. So that is the instruction he will give them. So this is the end of their prayers. Very nice prayers by Nagapatnis. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, Itham sa nagapatni bhir bhagwan samabhishtutaha murchitam bhagna sirsam visasarja angri kuttanai. So in this way, when Bhagavan Sri Krishna was praised, glorified by the wives of snake Kaliya, then Sri Krishna, he stopped beating him with his feet, who was already in like a state of unconscious state, and all his heads were smashed. So in that state, he gave up hitting him further with his feet. So angribhyam kuttanaihi praharai. So angri kuttanai means kicking him with his feet. Bhagna sirsam kaliyam tatyadi. So he whose heads were beaten up, so he stopped that. Tat shirsabhya sahasaiva aplutya tadagre tasthavutyartha. So all this time Krishna was standing on his head, even when they were praying. So now he jumped from there and came down and stood in front of the snake, so that he can open his eyes and see him. Because when he is on his head, he cannot see him. He was only getting the kicks, but not seeing him. So now he is having full darshan of Krishna. Pratilabdha indriya pranaha kaliya sankair harim krishrat samuchchava sandina krishnam praha kritanjali. So pratilabdha indriya prana. So now he got back his senses in life, that Kaliya. So slowly and with great difficulty, while having long breath, that poor fellow, he spoke as follows to Krishna with folded palms. So these snakes and all, they sometimes they are in the snake body, sometimes they are a human body. Like devas, they can change their form. Because we saw earlier also that the wives of Kaliya, they were also praying Krishna, they were standing with joined palms. Now here is also said Kritanjali. So snakes don't have hands, they are called Pannaga. Means they don't have any. They are called Uraga. Their feet is their chest. They move on their chest. So they are not having hands, legs, etc. So why is it said Kritanjali? So means it's more like a human being now.
What is the literal meaning of Pannaga?
I think it comes from the word pada. Pada. Ga is to go, like Uraga, or Sagachati iti Uraga. Pat and na, no feet, goes without feet.
The first na should be complete. Pada, na, gaha.
Pata also becomes. We did this in the Harinama Vyakaran.
Pada becomes pada.
Pat. Padbhi. That's why you have the word Padbhi. Pada Padbhi. Padbhyam Padbhy. So Krishna ati kashtadeva kathanchit kritanjali. So Krishrad means with great difficulty, because his whole body was aching. So much beating he got from Krishna. So now he is having pain all over his body. So therefore with great difficulty he is standing up. Somehow Kritanjali sarvanga vyathnāvattvāt natu bhūmau dandavan nipatya pranama asamartha iti bhāva. So Kritanjali folding the palms means that all his body was aching. All the limbs of his body, they were aching. So therefore it was not possible for him to fall down on the ground and perform dandavat pranam. So therefore he just joining his palms and praying to him. So means now he is in human like form. So now Kaliya speaks. Kaliya uvacha, Kaliya said, Vayam khalaha sahotpatya tamsa dirghamanyavaha sabhavo dustajo natha lokanam yada sadgraha. So he says that, O Lord, O Master, O Nath, we are wicked people. So now he is speaking very humbly. All his pride is gone. Previously he was very proud when first he saw Krishna entering into the lake. He came running. Right? He was biting him. So now he has come to his senses. He has realized who is Krishna. And he understood that he is nobody. I mean, he got one slap from Garuda earlier. But that was nothing what he got now. So he says, Vayam khalaha, we are very wicked people. And utpatya tamsas, we are born with tamas. Means by birth, it's not by training. It's not that I have acquired these samskaras because I was mistreated in my childhood or anything like that. He says, we are born, this is our nature. Dirghamanyava, we are very angry people. Intense anger. Whomever we see, we just attack that person. That's how we are. And it is very difficult to give up one's swabhava. That's why people don't want to change, because they already know that it is difficult to change. So why try? So he says, Swabhavo dustajo natha loka namya dasabha. And therefore people, they are very much attached to asat, or wrong characteristics. Because whatever one swabhava one has, then one is stuck with that. So, yo swabhavo yasya asti sa nityam duratikram. Whatever is one's nature, of course the nature which we have is acquired nature. He is not talking about acquired nature. That is also acquired physical body, but in case of human beings it is little different. Human beings also acquire after birth so many characteristics by their upbringing, their environment. Other species, they are the way they are. Dog has dog's nature, cow has cow's nature, snake has snake nature. But human beings can have cow nature, dog nature, snake nature. Can have nature of anyone. Just like in yoga they have all types of asanas. And they have dog asana. Then dog pose is also there. Snake pose is also there. Sarpasana. Right? Kukkurasana, dog asana. Singhasana, lion asana. There is also Vrishchik asana. Scorpio pose. So human being can be anything. Can be a scorpio, can be a dog, he can be a tiger, he can be a snake, but very rare human being, because there is no human pose. So very difficult to be a human being. So that's why he says asadgraha. That asat very easily to catch, and sat very difficult. So he says loka nam yad asadgraha. Therefore people, they catch the asat. Graha means to hold on to, not give up. So therefore whatever is one's nature is difficult to give up. Ya subhava yasya asti sanityam duratikrama. Duratikrama means difficult to transcend it. Swayadi kriyate raja kimna atti upanam. If you make a dog as king, suppose you make the dog as king and put him on the throne, then when he comes off the throne and he sees leather shoes, will he not eat that? That's the question he is asking. Swayadi kriyate raja sakimna atti upanaham. Says, will he not eat the shoes? You think he is going to think, I am king, how can I eat the shoes? No, he will go for that. There is a story in the Panchtantra about a jackal. So once there was a jackal. He was in the forest. But at night, somehow he wandered into a village. So when he came to the village dogs started barking at him. Like dogs bark at night, sleep in the daytime. That's what they do, so that you don't sleep at night. They keep you awake here in India. All the time some dog is barking somewhere. Previously, when we didn't have this clinic, one dog used to come and stand right outside my room, and he will just bark and look this side and bark. What are you going to do? So that was his regular pastime. So I don't know why they bark. And they go on doing it for hours, non-stop. They have so much energy, like children when they cry, they go on crying like that. So when the dogs were chasing this jackal, it so happened that there was a washerman in the village, and he had this big tank where he used to color the cloths. So there was a water and there was a colored water in it, so he fell inside it because he was being chased by the dogs. When he fell inside, the dog left him because they thought he has disappeared somewhere. So then slowly he came out and he went back to the forest. So now when he went back to the forest, he had a blue color. So he was not looking like a jackal anymore, and there was no other animal like him. So everybody thought that he's some special animal. Yeah, he has appeared from heaven or somewhere. So they all started respecting him. And they went and reported to the lion, who is the king of the forest, that some divine being has come from heaven. So the lion also came and offered his respect. So this jackal was very, very happy now, because now everybody was respecting him, everybody was giving him food, he didn't have to worry about anything. He became like a divine appearance. So like that some time passed. So one day what happened, that he was going around, and in the evening the jackals, they howl at night like dogs. So at night, it was night time, and then some jackals were howling. So when he heard them, now his nature came out, he could not stop it. It's like a dog sees another dog barking, then he starts barking. It's just his nature. It's an instinct. It's a chain reaction. So when he heard the other jackals howling, then he started howling with putting his mouth up. So when he howled, then the lion thought, oh, he's a jackal. What is this? He's fooling us all this time. So then he attacked him and killed him. So that's the story to teach that
Old heavy ties. That is the moral.
So the nature, so that's what they are saying here also. The snake is also saying, he says, Swabhava dustyajo natha. That Swabhava, the nature, is dustyaja. It is very difficult to give up that. And Lokanam yada sadgraha. So it's dushtagraha. It is like asadgraha can also mean like a bad planet comes in your chart, right? Saturn comes for 7.5 years or sometimes 2.5 years. Sadhe Sati, Sunny, 7.5 years. So then that's why they're called graha. They catch you. So now, what are you going to do? You are under the influence of Saturn. So then they tell you, okay, now you have to use this blue sapphire, go to the Saturn temple in Kokilavan here in Vrindavan. Every Saturday, big crowd. Saturn is having nice time. Because everybody is scared of Saturn. So he says, Yat yato asato viruddhatven jatasyapi ragadveshayader graho grahanam vidusham api kim punar mudha. So Vishwanath Chakravarti is just commenting on this one word, asadgraha. Says asadgraha means bad qualities. Asat means bad qualities like raga and dvesha. So asato viruddhatvena, which are not favorable to our life. We know that. We know that this type of behavior is not good. Human beings know. Snakes, other animals, they don't know. The dog does not know that barking is good or not good. They just bark. But human beings, they know that at night people are sleeping, then don't honk on your car. Right? But they still do it. They know that people are sleeping here, but they will come and start honking. So this is called asadgraha. That says that Gyatasyapi, even one who knows, even they are unable to give up raga and dvesha. So there are some people who don't know that this raga and dvesha is problematic. People are becoming jealous of somebody, envious of somebody, developing dvesha, hatred, just like that. It's just their instinct, nature, whatever, and they know it is, and they are bothered by it, they are troubling, but they don't want to give it up. This is the asadgraha. And then attack others, trouble others. So grahanam vidusham apikim. He says even those who know, who are learned, they are unable to do it. What to speak of person like me, mudha. So naam asmakam. Some fool like me, snake. How can I give up? So this way he is vindicating himself. Right? What he is saying is that, well, I bit you, I did all these things, but what can I do? I am a snake. You made me snake. So what do you expect? I am going to do puja for you? I am a snake, I will bite you. So he is putting all the responsibility on Krishna. So that Krishna now feels a little bad and blesses him. So also he's also smart. Right? They say devotees are daksha. Devotees are expert, right? So he's become devotee, they said like that. So now he is giving nice logic. That he says by creation only, utpatya saha tamasa. By birth, and that birth is given by you. If you did not make me snake, you could have made me a cowherd boy here in Vrindavan. I will not do this. So you better do it now. Relieve me from this snake form. So tvaya srishtam idam vishwam dhatura guna visarjanam dhatar guna visarjanam nana svabhava viryojo yoni bijashya kriti. He says that this universe, Vishwam, Tvaya Srishtam, it is all created by you, O Creator, Dhata, Guna Visarjanam. So with the help of the gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and with that people have different types of Swabhava, Virya, bodily strength, Oja, strength of the senses, and Yoni Bija, Ashya Kriti, and different Yoni and Bija parental nature, and their Ashya, their Chitta and Akriti form. So much variety is coming because of the different gunas of Prakriti. So gunair vividham sarjanam srishtir yatra tat. So because of the various gunas, your srishti, your creation has so much variety. They say that there are how many? 8.4 million species. So because of the gunas, vividhatvamaha nana swabhavadiyo yasya tat. So that variety is then being described by him in this sloka, when he says nana swabhava. So swabhava is nature, and in the nature also different people belonging to same nature can have different types of strength. Even if snake has one type of swabhava, all snake do not have the same amount of strength or poison. So that varies. That depends on their DNA coming from their parents, what kind of body growth they will have, and then they have their past karma, ashaya, which is in their chitta, and they have a particular shape. So there in this material world, every human being, every living being, even people who belong to the same species such as cows, then every cow is different. Although they all belong to the same class, and there are certain characteristics which they all share. That's how we study. We say human beings are like this, cows are like this, monkeys are like this. But still every monkey is different. Every human being is different, or every species, every living being in their own class is also different. It's unique. So this is because of the combination of the various gunas, because everybody has got their own unique mix of the gunas, and that gives rise to various types of varieties of nature, strength, shape, etc. So I am a snake. I was a very powerful snake. So therefore I acted like this. And you are the creator. So that's why he's calling him as Dhata, means one who creates. So in other words, he is also putting some blame on him. That it's not only that I did this, you also have some role to play in it. Don't be upset with me, I'm just speaking what I know. So we'll stop here if there is any question.
Maharaj, could you please explain the meaning of, little more elaborately, the meaning of this Virya, Oj, Yoni and Bij?
Virya means bodily strength. Oja means sense strength, Indriya Shakti. And Yoni means mother and Bij means father.
इसकी ट्रांसलेशन में वीर्य को इंद्रिय धर्म बता रहे हो, ओज को प्राण धर्म.
कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, कुछ भी कर सकते हो. वो कमेंट्री देखो किसी और की, जीव गोस्वामी की कमेंट्री है उसमें.
इसमें हाँ है,
देखो क्या कहते हैं.
Babaji,
Yes.
what are the most important qualities a human being should have?
Most important is surrender to God. Then all good qualities come from them. यस्यास्ति भक्तिर भगवते किंचना सर्वे गुणास्तत्र समासते सुरा हरा भक्तस्य कुतो महद guna. So when you become devotee, then all other good qualities come. Otherwise, even if you have all other good qualities, you are not devotee, then it only makes you proud. So the Dishat Gunad, that sloka is there. Prahlad Maharaj speaks that Brahmana who is having 12 qualities, so napunati sakulam bhuri mana. He cannot purify himself, but to speak of purifying the kula. So that is the best quality. And in fact, that is the only desirable quality. That's why Mahaprabhu said, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagdisha kamaya, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhakti rahit ki tvai. So this is only one thing we should desire, this is the only one thing we should aspire. And we can have that, then everything is there. If we don't have that, everything else is zero. Like bhakti is one and everything else is zero. If you have bhakti, the zero has value. If you don't have bhakti, then all these qualities are without one. They are insignificant. So you will still feel incomplete, unhappy. That's the situation in the material world. There are great singers, rich people, beautiful people, strong people, all these qualities. They have beautiful, some particular sense is very powerful. Right? Some people are wine tasters, so they have good sense of taste. Some people are good in music. So all these qualities, but you see themselves, they are not happy.
Babaji,
Hmm.
I have a question about Kalia and his wives. So, as I understand it, Kalia is an ordinary Jiva, but he has a very special, which is a species which does not exist apparently. It's something like, he has a form of a snake, and he has also some human-like features, just as his wife. So, so this is a specific Jiva who, after he comes in contact with Krishna, becomes purified and becomes a devotee. So now Krishna performs the Līlā with the tiger snake in every time he appears in this Prabhupada. So that means that another Jiva takes the same birth who has similar karma and does the same, performs the same function.
Yeah, what is the problem?
No, so I'm just wondering because he cannot be an associate of Krishna. So he must every time he must be different jivas. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And to get this kind of, this is a very special karma, because we don't see anybody else who has this kind of birth. It seems like he's unique.
No, these other Rakshasas, Asuras, they also had. They are these Yakshas, Rakshas, there are various types of yonis.
Mm-hmm.
So they are all called Devi yonis. Although we call them Asuras and Yakshas and Rakshasas, but they are all counted among Devi yonis. If you see even Amar Kosh, they are listed as part of Devi yoni. Means they are divine in a sense. So they have certain powers by birth itself. Even in the Yoga Sutra it is described that there are certain Shaktis or powers, they come to specific species by birth, just like bird can fly in the sky. So they don't need any training or anything like that. So human beings have some characteristics by birth as a human being. So in these yonis they have these powers naturally to change form.
So in Kali Yuga we don't see this. I mean, we hear a lot about asuras who can change their forms.
Kali Yuga, everything human beings.
Aha. Okay.
So human beings can change form now, right? You can have your avatar in the virtual reality. You can become Kaliya in the virtual world. So now everything, all the Yaksha, Rakshasa, they have disappeared from Kali Yuga. They are not needed because human beings are doing all that role. And that's human beings itself is enough for earth to handle. If these other people come, it will be in bigger chaos.
And then one more thing, you probably also heard that, I don't know where it's coming from, but some people say that Kali is living in the Fuji Islands now. So I was wondering, who's the English basis for that?
Not Fuji, Fiji.
Fiji, sorry.
Yeah, I've also heard that. Yeah, he may be living, who knows. I've read some articles that once a year one snake comes up with those hands and all that.
He is holding the passport now, Kaliya. He got the visa for.
Okay, yeah.
I have two questions. And my first question is that what does it mean that Kaliya gets punished, like beaten so heavily? Because earlier I've understood that Kaliya represents our senses, who are polluted by the desire for sense objects.
So you already talked about this. This is a chikitsa. Means like you have to do some austerity to purify your senses. Do Ekadashi Vrata. Do, what is that, Bhisma Panchaka. So that's the purification. Any other question? What is your second question?
Second question is, I've understood, but honestly from this Krishna movie, that Kamsa, he sends asuras to Vraja. I'm not sure if this is founded in Bhāgavatam, and if yes, then would it mean that Kaliya is also sent from Kamsa?
No, Kaliya was not sent by him. The others were sent, you know that. He was sending Putana, we read that. He sent Putana and then Bakasura and Aghasura all to come. He had that meeting, remember? When the girl slipped out from the hands and went into the sky and made statement that one who is going to kill is already born. And then right after that he called all his associates and they said we should kill all the newborn babies.
Yeah.
So that's what they were doing.
Okay. And about this punishment of the senses, I'm a little bit confused because I've understood that this sounds more like Gyan Marg, this type of tapasya and...
Why in bhakti also you have to purify your senses? And even if it is Gyan Marg, but after purification, if you are controlled,
but by
can
this
take to
beating
bhakti.
and sounds very...
Yeah, but beating is symbolic if you take him as a sense. What is the beating for a sense? What is set pleasing to the sense? Means you give what is pleasing. If it is ear, you give nice music, right? It is tongue, I give nice food. What will be the beating of the sense? Opposite of that. Okay.
Quick question. I'm just wondering about the, like in India, there's a lot of importance around nagas and snake worship, and also warnings that, like I've heard, especially in the southern part of India, they talk a lot about the importance of snakes and also to be careful not to be cursed by snakes.
Not to be?
Not to be cursed by snakes, like snakes can curse you if you offend them in some way, or they have something called Naga Sarpados, where you get cursed by a snake and then that you have to do some kind of special puja to remove this curse and things like that. So I'm just wondering what the relationship between the Nagas or these snake beings and humans and devotees, if you could shed some light.
You see, the relationship is not just with snake or anything else. This creation, if you believe that God created it, then He created all species of life, including snakes. So this universe needs all this to remain in balance. Like now you are hearing from modern people also that this species is becoming extinct and they are making so much effort to protect it, right? So in India it was already made like part of religion because that is the best way to protect. If people are religious, so when there is a natural tendency to kill snakes because they are dangerous, they are danger to our life, so human beings want to protect themselves, so anything which is dangerous to them they kill. So now to avoid that snakes will become extinct, then bring Nag Puja. So Nag Panchami is going to come, I think, in just few days, right after Purnima. Then Nag Panchami comes. There is one day here where they celebrate snakes. The snakes are fed. It will come after about a week. So like that people feed ants, you might have seen in India, right? So the idea is that all these species need to survive for the universe, the cycle of the universe. Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayatiha aghayurindriya ramo mogham partha sajivati. So Krishna has set this cycle into motion. So that's why you see Ganesh, his carrier is mouse. So mouse also people kill. So now he is made carrier of Ganesh. Now if you worship Ganesh, obviously you have to give respect to his mouse also. So these different carriers also they signify a certain energy. Like there are devas, Ganesh is there, Shiva is there, all this. So those devas we propitiate those devas for the cycle of the universe to continue. Their carriers also signify their energy because they are the carriers of them. It's like Garuda is carrier of Vishnu. So Garuda also eats snakes, which means Garuda takes away tamas. Snake is a representative of tamas. So he is an enlightened being. Garuda is made to look like a bird, but he is an enlightened being. So that's why it is said that when he flies, his wings, the sound of two divisions of the Veda, Sam and Rathantar, they come out from the flapping of the wings. So that means he is actually personification of the Veda, which is Veda means knowledge. And what is the knowledge's enemy is ignorance. And snake signifies that, as you said, we are tamasa, sahotpatya tamasa, vayam khala na sahotpatya tamasa, right? By the very birth they are tamasa. So that is the significance of Garuda eating snakes. So this all, but they all needs to be, so Jiva Jivasya Jivnam is one principle, that one species lives on the life of another species, because that's how the cycle also remains and karma is balanced like that. But they all have to also live. If one species is extinct, the one who survives on that, what will they do then? So then they will eat something else and then disturbance will come. So like human beings are eating everything now. So human beings are the most disturbing element in this nature. Therefore dharma is created for them. That's why Krishna says dharma sansthapanartha sambhavami yuga yuga. I come to establish dharma. So this dharma is for human beings, not for animals, not for anyone else. So in that dharma therefore also includes that. If you become devotee, then everything is included in that. Because it's, as we are reading in Bhakti Sandarbha, how much is this point Jiva Goswami was explaining again and again, that to see the presence of God in every living being. Right? He did the whole Prana Sreshta Hi, Jiva Sreshta Hi, what is that? Praninam. And then he gives a whole list. And then he says everybody has to be respected. If you don't feel the presence of God, then he says that all your archa is vidambanam. We studied all that. So that's why bhakti is the essence of dharma. Because the basic principle of dharma is to live and to let live. And that happens when you acknowledge presence of God in everything. Then everything continues. Everything is protected. Because protection is done by Vishnu. So if you worship Vishnu, then we also acquire the characteristics which he has, or nature, or the function which he does.
Thank you.
Okay.